to you from the porch. Oh, it is beautiful out here today. I think it's supposed to be 80 today, 82 for tomorrow, 86 Saturday. Then Sunday's supposed to start dropping off, and sometime next week get down into the 50s for a high. So that is this crazy weather, but I'm gonna tell you what, this is gorgeous out here. Some people still got to go to work. That was City of Kannapolis truck. I ain't got but a few minutes right now, and then I'll come back. But y'all know I got something in the oven. My alarm's gonna fix to go off. So, you know how I don't sleep, right? Well, when I do sleep, I like to have that sleep. And you know I have to sleep in the chair in the living room. And you know that my living room and dining room and kitchen is one big open area. So the other night, now Kyle, love him to death. He's just like my husband. He's a clodhopper. They are the loudest two men I have ever known. Everything they do is loud. Everything. Stomping. Just everything. So, I've gotten used to it because I've been used to David for all these years. I'm laying over there in the chair and I fell asleep early. I've been going to sleep real early because I've just been real tired. Sorry. And I was laying over the chair and I was sleeping. Ooh. Listen, I was somewhere in the middle of my 4 hours. Next thing I know, I hear ka-plunk, 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 ka-plunk. He has this big metal Yeti cup that he keeps water in. He was over there filling it up with ice, and it was like he was banging on some pots and pans. And my eyes flew open, and I think I shot daggers across the room, not sure. So he got it, he clomped on back to the room. Next day I told Holly, I said, tell him, please. He scared the you-know-what out of me, and then he woke me up, and I was up. Tell him to please try not to be so quiet. She said, I tell him all the time to just shut up, and he won't do it. So, last night, David left about 7:45, and I was already going to sleep as he was leaving. I was that tired. So, I just went to sleep. I nodded off just a little bit, and then I woke up, filled my CPAP machine with some water, turned the light off, turned the TV down. I didn't turn it off, I turned it down. Got my covers up on me. And so I'm laying there, and I slept till, I don't know, about 1 o'clock. Well, let me back up. First, before I actually went to sleep, when I dozed off, I woke back up, and before I put myself to sleep, I heard them come out of the room, and I had turned the light off, but I had not put my stuff on. They hit the door, and I heard them and turn around. They went right back in and shut the door. They saw that the light was off, and they didn't even come in there, so I don't know if they would want something to eat, and they didn't eat. I think they keep Rice Krispie treats and mess like that in their room. So I just giggled, and I didn't holler out nothing, because, you know, I went to sleep. Lord, he looks like a mailman, but I know he ain't no mailman this early in the morning. Went on to sleep. So, at 1 o'clock, I woke up, because, you know, I was through. I think I slept. By that time, I had slept 3.5 hours, I calculated. And I'm laying there, the light's still off, the TV's on. Got my covers pulled up, so I look like I'm sleeping, and it's, you know, dark in there. They can't see, so here comes Kyle. He's creeping into the kitchen. I'm laying there watching him. He goes over to the sink. He gets his water. He goes over to the refrigerator, and I'm watching him. I can see him enough because the stove light is on. I can see him enough. He's doing putting one little ice. He dropped one, and you could tell he was like, he stopped. He got the ice. He kept putting them in and putting them in. I was laying over there. I had the covers up on my mouth, trying not to die laughing. So when he dropped that one piece of ice, he picked it up. I watched him, and it was the refrigerator and the sink. That cabinet where I keep the Instant Pot, on this side is the refrigerator, and this side is the sink. I watched him. He did this to the sink and laid the ice cube down in there. Went back over there, finished getting his ice, put his lid on. He walked back down the hall. I was laying there, dying laughing inside. I guess you had to be there, but the fact that she told him and he listened is not a concept I am familiar with because David does not listen. He's not a listener. So that was my excitement for last night. So after that, I never did go back to, I'm trying to think, did I go back to conscious sleep where I knew I was going to sleep, or did I doze off? I might have put it back on and went back to sleep. I ain't sure. But another city employee, I don't know what they're doing. So anyway, I did get a little off and on the rest of the morning, and I got some banana bread in the oven. It's just regular banana bread for everybody. And I'm trying to think if I hear my, let me go check on it, and I'll come back and we'll talk some business. Okay, I'm back. Listen, I pulled down my Halloween. I broke both my mugs John made me. Broke them both within like 2 days. David chipped one, and I flat out dropped the other one. So I got my Halloween mug down, which don't bother me because y'all know I love the Halloween. Eat, drink, and be scary, y'all. I can be scary. I ain't gonna lie. I can be scary. So one time, I'll just tell you. Y'all might not believe it, but just go and believe it because I'm telling you. I can show out. And maybe I'm not proud of that fact, but it's a fact. But it's usually only if you mess with my family. And when you mess with my family, Mother Hen comes out. And side note, family's not always blood with me. Family does not have to be blood, because I got people that ain't blood that is closer and better to me than blood. So that's that. Well, RJ was bullied when he was little because he was overweight. He was a big boy. He's tall. He's just a big boy. He's just big. The men in my mom's side of the family are just big, and the women are big. And so he was bullied in school, and I would tell him, "You're just gonna have to lay into one of them to prove a point, and then they'll leave you alone." He would say, "I can't do it, Mama." He was so meek and mild. "Can't do it, Mama." Okay, I'm just telling you, that's what you're gonna have to do. Well, I had gone to the school for that, where him and this little boy got into a tumble, and he told he told me that, he said, "Mama," he said, "we was rolling on the tables." I said, "Well, good." So of course I got called into the principal's office, and I just told him, I said, "You know what? We'll take that suspension," because I told the little man sitting there, I said, I told him, I have always told him, if somebody starts something, you better finish it. I said, you better not come home and tell me you started it, but you better come home and tell me you finished it, because I believe in standing up for yourself. Well, I want you to know after that, nobody picked on him. And that is the gospel. Nobody picked on him after that, because he stood up for himself and showed that he was not scared. Well, that wasn't what I was going to tell you. I just went to the principal's office several times in middle school. And not because he was acting up either, because of just situations that he found himself in. Well, this one was a teacher. And I remember his name. But I ain't gonna say it. He was a younger guy. He taught history. Well, RJ come home one day upset. This teacher stood him up and made fun of him in front of the class. Ooh. Matter went hen, don't cover it. So I didn't get called to the principal's office. I called the principal to the office. You hear? I went and told him just a couple things. He called the teacher in there, and the teacher was sitting there and tried to deny it. I'm like, no, my son ain't gonna lie to me about something like that. Blah, 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 blah. Kind of showed out a little bit, because, that was wrong. And he was that messed him up. So we're walking back to the car, and I told RJ, I said, did I show out too bad? He just looks over at me and he goes, I've seen worse. So, why was I telling y'all that I show out? What was the point of that story? I don't even know. I can't tell you why. I don't even know what we was talking about. So anyway, yeah, that's just a little note about me. If you're ever faced with a situation and you need a show out person, hit me up. Listen, I told when David owned his own trucking business, his insurance lady made the mistake. He forgot to pay, I don't know what it was, on his big trucks. And I remember her name too. She made the mistake of telling me, talking about my husband to me. I said, oh, you better hold up. I give her a little head full of mess. And my husband told me, so I talked to, and said, boy, your wife is something. I said, well, you know what? I might pick on you that ain't nobody else going to. So, as my mama would say, I will cloud up and rain on you. Hey, I shouldn't be embarrassed to tell y'all that, but what's the point? What's the point in this stage of the game? So, the business, we'll talk about my county. Now, I'm in North Carolina, and the governor has not done any kind of stay-at-home or shelter-in-place. He did close non-essential businesses unless they have retail. So that included Holly's job. She works at I guess it'd be considered a high-end game store. It's for the tabletop games. And since part of his is retail, he got to stay up. Well, he had done cut her hours to like 14 this week, which I was glad. I didn't want her to be out in the public anyway. She said there was, the last day she worked, there was a little girl in there coughing and sneezing. And so they have like a kiosk that you can do something at. I can't remember what she said. And said the man was doing it and said he was flat up, had his shirt up over his nose doing it. Because that little girl walking around coughing and carrying on. And he walked over and told her, he goes, do you have any sanitizing wipes? He said, I'll go clean off everything she touched. And so he did. He went over and wiped everything that she had went around and touched. And that was during this. That was during the time that we had already started with, our precautions as a nation. How irresponsible. Anyway, so he's done that. Earlier this week, I don't know, this is Friday, I don't remember what day. At first he said he wasn't going to do anything. He come out and said he wasn't going to close anything. Then it was a few days and he closed that. So then, as of yesterday at 5, he gave us like a day and a half, I think, when he put the order out. He didn't put the order out. Cabarrus County, my county, put the order out and gave it like a day and a half to have a stay-at-home order. So that is my county, which includes my town. And RJ lives in the other county that is our town, city, whatever. It was a town, but it incorporated in the 80s. Like, I remember it. So it includes him too. And that's like everybody else's stay-at-home order. So it's, the standard where you can go and where you can't. And so obviously David's job is essential because he's a truck driver. So he's working. He goes terminal to terminal. He's considered a system driver. Hold on. He's considered a system driver, which means he just runs the system. He has zero contact with customers. Zero. That's the city drivers during the day. Those are the ones, and they're making them sign. He said one of the drivers was telling him that some of the customers are making them sign disclaimers, disclosures, or whatever, that they don't have it or they haven't been around anybody that had it. And that was like last week. So he just goes terminal to terminal overnight. So the only people he sees are dispatch and other drivers. And he said they set up disinfecting solution out in the dispatches so you can clean your truck for whoever's been in it, because people will drive the truck during the day and then the nighttime drivers will drive it, so they'll double up on one truck. They have an assigned truck, but a daytime does and a nighttime does. So they give them that so they can, clean everything off. And I told him, you better be washing your hands. He said he washes his hands, he does all his stuff, So I feel better about that than him having to go in all these different places of business. So that is where we are on our little situation here at home. Groceries are meh, and it's unusual. I'm sitting here, a couple city cars have gone by, a Windstream, and then like one or two other regular cars. It's very odd because this is very busy. It's a neighborhood, but it's very busy, very busy. So unusual. Oh, and he did close the schools. The governor did close all public schools through May the 15th. He did do that. Now, the other business is my big old behind got to get it together. Because, girl, she's not handling this well. You see, that cold sore I got a prescription. She was real quick about it, too. I was shocked. Quicker about it now. Well, I guess because they quit seeing patients. Well, if you have issues, they'll see you, but like my 3-month checkup was canceled, those kind of things, so I guess they're not as busy, so she could get to it quicker. But it dried it up, but just, I get them when my nerves get tore up, and my nerves have been tore up, and I've been eating everything in sight, like they're going to quit making it, like they're going to just fold up the food factories and quit making food. It's ridiculous. I tried yesterday. I woke up with resolve. I started my day out, and I had this thing. I don't know if some of y'all ever had it when you get metallic taste in your mouth. I've had it over the years, off and on. It just comes and goes. So it was real bad yesterday, and a couple days before that was starting to get it. But yesterday was terrible. I kept eating anything I could find to cover the taste. It's like sucking on a dirty old penny. That's what it tastes like sucking on a dirty old penny. It's disgusting. Nothing. I couldn't drink coffee, and y'all know I love my coffee. Couldn't drink my coffee because it tasted like it tasted like sucking metal water. So I was constantly finding something to put in my mouth to cover up that taste. Candy wouldn't even cover it up. Well, I woke up this morning and knock on wood. I got no wood around me. Knock on wood, it's better. My coffee tastes good. My breakfast tastes good. So today, I'm going to try to do my food videos like I used to do, because I don't really have much else to do this week cooking-wise. I am working on one video that I think will be a fun one. It's food-related, obviously, but I've been working on it in my mind for a while, and I put in a couple things I need to pick up, but I got everything else on hand. So if you keep a stocked up pantry, it's stuff you liable to have. Anyway, I'm working on that. I'll do that sometime this week. And so I thought, well, since I don't have a bunch of new recipes, because you saw my menu, well, you might have saw my menu, if you saw my menu, I should say. You see, I'm just cooking a lot of regular old stuff, nothing that you need to see me cook or that you've already seen me cook. So I don't have much going on in the way of this. So I thought, well, to try to get me back on track, the way that I started the channel of putting out my food, that's all I started with, was putting out my food, what I ate. So if I can get back to that, I do get tired going in there every night trying to do that. I really do. But if I can make myself do it, I think it'll help me. Now, listen, this might be the only day, and I don't do it again until next week. I ain't gonna give you no promises, because it's just how I feel. According to how I feel, that's how I'll do it. But I got to get myself back together, because I was taking RJ some milk. Listen, I've put on, and I'm puffy from the fluid, but I can tell I've put on some pounds too. I was taking RJ some milk, and I put it in a plastic grocery bag, and I used my cane because I just have to. And I was carrying the milk in this hand over here, and I could, because I already dragged. I could hardly get out the door carrying that milk. And I come in, I told David when I got back home and everything, I was like, I got to do something, because if I put on any more weight, I'm not going to be able to move. So I asked Alexa, how much did a gallon of milk weigh? She said 8 pounds. 8 pounds was dragging me, and you know how easy it would be to gain 8 more pounds? So I've got to do something. But I've got to the point to where I think, what the heck? And I know some of y'all was in the same boat that I am, but we got to get out of that boat and get back on the dry land. We got to quit floundering. That's what we're doing. We're floundering. We got to quit floundering. We got to get our act together. We got to be healthy. We got to, I know I got to be healthy, which I'm sure surgery, I know it. I'm already counting on it to be postponed till who knows when. He probably won't see it as essential, even though it's essential for my quality of life. It's not essential for my life. So that, I understand that, but it don't make it feel any better. But I know I got to keep my A1C down, because my blood work has run out. So I'll have to give them fresh blood, and I can't have that A1C up there, because then they're gonna hold me off even more. I'm telling you right now, they're gonna hold me off even more if my A1C pops up. So I got to keep that down. I got to stay out the sugar. I got to stop eating so many times a day. I'm trying to get back on my vegetables, but I'm tell you what, I got burned out on the vegetables. Y'all know how I feel. Me and the vegetables like friends. We're not friends. I'm trying to get back on them, but it's hard. This week I'm eating stuff I got, and I got beans, and so I'm eating beans, which I think there's worse things for you than beans. But I think that's all I was going to talk about today. I'm just going to sit out here and finish my coffee, listen to these birds. I know y'all can hear them. They're beautiful. So I think that's it. If I think of anything else before I go in there and upload this, I'll pop on and tell you about it. Okay, bye.